Hey everyone, bet you thought you saw the last of me. I'm Queenie, and I'm delighted to be presenting Skissel's March Fiber Factor Knit Along, and I'll be presenting my Ciao Knitter's Tote. Ciao was an incredible journey. I loved designing it, and I'm so pleased with the response that people had to it. And so here we are. We're going to have 7 weeks, and I'll be taking you through how to make the bag, and it's going to be a great time. Okay, so here's where we're going to start this week. We're going to be making what I call compartment 1. Compartment 1 will be spread over 2 weeks. So for the first week's assignment, you'll be making the front portion of the bag. The front portion of the bag consists of these 4 triangles, and then there are 4 corner pieces. In this bag, they're made in gray. The triangles are made holding the yarn double, and the corners are made holding the yarn singly. And the reason why the yarn is held double for parts of the bag is because these jewel closures are pretty substantial, and it needs to have substantial fabric to connect to. So be careful to pay attention to how many strands you're supposed to be holding. You can find all the details about what you're going to need to make your bag on at thefiberfactor.com. It's also on Ravelry at the Fiber Factor discussion group. And I will be making my bag this time using 2 colors of Simplicity. The original was Simplicity for the red and Zalbravola for the gray. But this time I'll be using this Turkish coffee in place of the red. And I'll be using this peacock blue for in place of the gray. And I will be using chocolate brown clasps. So here I have a completed triangle. You need to make 4 of these. I specify that you cast on with the knit-on method, leaving a 12-inch tail, and I specify that you break the yarn, leaving another 12-inch tail. And this is so that you will have a strand of yarn on each side of the triangle so you can sew it up to the corners later. This is a nearly completed corner piece. This edge is the cast-on edge, and you want to use a loose cast-on. My go-to cast-on for when I want something to be loose is a twisted German cast-on, but you can use whatever is your preference. And you shape the corner piece with centered double decreases, which is abbreviated CDD. And you can see them here in the knit, and it's not quite so easy to see here in the purl. And I will show you how to do those. This is a centered double decrease in knit. Slip 2 stitches together as if you're going to knit them together. Knit 1. Pass the 2 slip stitches over the knit 1. Your resulting stitch does not lean right or left, and the center of the 3 stitches is on top of the resulting stitch. Here's the centered double decrease in purl. You slip the first stitch as if you're going to knit it, and then do the same with the second stitch. Then you return the 2 stitches to the left needle by going into the first stitch and then the second stitch that you slipped. And then you purl all 3 stitches together. And when you look at this on the wrong side, you will see that the resulting stitch looks exactly like the centered double decrease when it was done in knit. Doesn't lean right or left, and the center stitch is on the top of the resulting stitch. So here we are, ready to assemble the front of the bag. We have 4 triangles, all on the needle with the right side facing, and we have 4 corners also on a separate needle with their right sides facing, and we have 4 markers ready to place, and I'm going to be using 2 strands of color 2, in this case the blue, to join. I'm ready to join the first triangle to the first corner. I'm using 2 strands of color 2, which in this case is blue, and I slip the first 3 stitches of the corner and work the center 35 stitches with the 2 strands of blue until I've arrived at the final 3 garter stitch edge stitches of the triangle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my corner needle and hold it behind the triangle. Both of these are with right sides facing, and knit the final 3 corner stitches together with final 3 triangle stitches, together with the first 3 corner stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3. And there's no question this is a little bit awkward. Take your time. All right, now you go to the second triangle and you work the first 3 stitches of it together with the final 3 stitches of the corner. And what this is going to do is straddle that corner right between the 2 triangle pieces. Okay, there you go. And then you proceed along the second triangle until you get to that edge, the next 3 edge stitches. I've worked across the first triangle, I've joined the first corner straddling the first and second triangle, the second corner is straddling the second and third triangle, and so on and so forth until I get to the final triangle, and I still have 3 stitches left. And now what you should do is lay everything out and make sure that nothing is twisted. And what we're going to do is join to work in the round and work these final 3 corner stitches together with the 3 original triangle stitches that you slipped. And I'll be back in a minute to show you what that looks like. So this is how things are going to look at the end of week 1. You're going to have your 4 triangles, your 4 corners connected. You're going to lay them out like this and make sure that everything is in good shape. All of the right sides are up. There's not a lot of slack between the pieces. You don't have any twisting. Make sure all that is good. When you've done this, purl every stitch in the round. Now these purl rounds are incredibly important. This is where you're going to be picking up stitches later. So you're going to need to make sure that you have this purl round. So once you have completed that all-important purl round, which you absolutely cannot forget, if you still have some time remaining, you can sew up the front of your bag. And so what you'll do is you pin together the corners and the triangles at the center. And the triangles were worked holding 2 strands, and the corners were worked holding 1 strand. And the corners have a couple more rows to them. So you're going to need to stretch the triangles for everything to fit correctly. But that's going to give the corners just a little bit more fabric to work with to be able to stretch and to give that more of that floral effect that is just so wonderful with Ciao Bella. So that's your assignment for week 1. I hope you have a great time. Happy knitting, and I can't wait to see what you've created. So we've got a great journey ahead of us, and if you have any questions at all, you can find me on Ravelry, you can email me, and it's going to be a great ride. Looking forward to it.